Here's what you need to know about Red Mirror, Black Mirror's new horror direction. It's just started on Netflix as Black Mirror, the latest season. I think it's season 6, I think. And to be honest, because I saw this, I haven't read the article, by the way, but I saw the headline. I saw that. I thought, right, I'll watch this episode first. And I didn't get very far into it. I didn't like it. It annoyed me. Spoilers, it's about a demon. It's called Demon 79, and it's set in 1979. It's actually really well filmed and stuff, and well acted and all that. And you do get a feeling that it is in 1979. It's about racism. As you can see, she's obviously, and what in UK we call, I think what Americans call South Asians. We just call them Asians. It is, of like Indian, Pakistani, Bangladesh, that sort of descent. She plays one of these characters and basically summons a demon. Spoilers. She summons a demon. It comes out like what they call them. What's that game? That Chinese game. Mahjong. One of those sort of tiles. It comes out of one of those. But it annoyed me. The person playing the demon annoyed me. And it was a bit of a like, all right, I'm a demon. Oh, click the heels and all that. It got me nuts. I turned it off. I'll probably go back to it and finish watching it. But anyway, here's the article. Because Black Mirror is usually about sci-fi and stuff like that in the future, whereas this one goes back to 1979 and it's kind of a horror story. So there we go. Right, anyway, I don't know if you noticed, says Harrison Brocklehurst. Cool name. I don't know if you noticed, but something has shifted in season 6 of Black Mirror, the latest to release on Netflix. Once a series focused on telling stories exclusively focused on near-future sci-fi and all the dangers of technology, season 6 of Black Mirror focuses, he likes the word focus, doesn't he? On this less, and focuses on this less, and seems more interested in just telling dark stories. Yes, sounds less technological. Or doesn't sound technological. No, there's no tech. Well, as far as I got into that episode, the one. But it does say, when it comes on, it does say that. It says Black Mirror presents a Red Mirror film. So is it a deliberate moving away? What it says there, look. Anyway, especially in the cases of Maisie Day and Demon 79, the final two, which have no technology at all. Those paying attention at the start of Demon 79 would have seen the words "a Red Mirror film" flash up in the title sequence. Black Mirror creator Charlie Brooker has explained what Red Mirror actually is and what it means for the future of the show. Excuse me. Charlie Brooker has said that the Red Mirror branding is because of the episodes moving away from a technology focus. Demon 79 opens with a Red Mirror Presents title sequence, marking it out as different from yet adjacent to Black Mirror. This is because typically Black Mirror has focused on tech dystopias or media satire, whereas this story has a stronger supernatural element, harking back to 1970s horror. The episode is almost unclassifiable. Well, no, it's like a horror story. It's like an episode of like Tales of the Unexpected or something like that. It's one of those. Anyway, great. Another Netflix horror thing that will get cancelled without an ending, probably. That's the demon in Demon 79. And that says a bit, cool, blimey, governor. He's appearing there as a member of Boney M, the pop group. Because she likes Boney M. Does the actor Needer or something she's called. Anyway, it was really, really useful as a sort of refresh, a reset quote. When Black Mirror started, it was 2011, and at the time there weren't many shows that looked like it, or there weren't many shows where someone looked at a smartphone, frankly, let alone obsessed over one and sat there staring at it until it ruined them. Like me. It felt like there's quite a few shows with dystopian sci-fi technical themes. Love, Death and Robots, for instance. So partly what I was doing, I was setting myself a task of what if I think of some storylines that aren't to do with technology and are to do with horror or set in the past. Speaking of Netflix and horror, British TV horror, there's one on Netflix called Dead Set. It's a zombie one. Watch it. It's great. Love it. It's like Big Brother. If Big Brother were invaded by zombies, it's cool. Anyway, That's by the by. It was partly doing that, and then through doing that, we got an episode, Demon 79, which is set in 1979, and is almost like a companion piece to Black Mirror. And it starts off well. And it looks like a good, piece of like British thing. Because I think the last 2 or 3 seasons have been a bit too American for me. Black Mirror, been a bit too American. It's lost that English British quirkiness. But Demon 79 so like redresses that. I don't know what the rest of the season is like because I haven't watched it. I just started watching Demon 79 and got about a third of the way through, I think, and then I turned it off because the demon got on my nerves. But I'll go back to it. Anyway. He also said we could potentially expect to see more of these Red Mirror episodes in the future, depending on how they go down with fans. Personally, I don't get why he didn't just make a spin-off series called Red Mirror, where he does a horror anthology separate to Black Mirror. Why do we need it in the same place? Because you're cashing in on the name recognition of Black Mirror, directly in the same series. Like how Ryan Murphy made American Crime Story separate to American Horror Story. It just all gets a bit confusing. Well, I don't blame him. To be honest. Say if it's popular, if those episodes get watched more than the other, pardon me, Black Mirror episodes, maybe they will do a Black Red Mirror series. But that Demon 79 didn't bode well for me because I didn't get all the way through it because the demon annoyed me. Him annoyed me. Going, come on, I'm a demon. Oh, I'm a demon, or what? Like that. I don't mean it did. Admittedly, at first, he did appear as like a demon. Classically, they might appear with horns and stuff. But his voice were like, "Oh, I'm a demon. Oh, sorry, I'll change into something that a bit nicer." And then he changes into him from Boney M. Because they're on the TV singing "Rah Rah Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. There was a cat who really was gone." Why do I know that? I don't know. But yes, I'll give it another go. I'll give it another go, and I'll watch the rest. I didn't watch season 5 of Black Mirror, by the way. I think it was only about 3 episodes, wasn't it? And I think I got about 5 minutes into the first episode and turned it off. Bloody awful. But I'm hoping maybe they've, done a bit better with season 6 because season 6 is longer. And going by Red Mirror, Demon 79, it looked a bit more British and a bit more grounded and a bit less. I don't want to use the W word. That's what put me off season 5. But yeah, a bit less that. Anyway, right, I'm back. Change of clothes, wash my hair. Different day. As you may have just seen in the excerpt from my live stream and me, kind of review of Demon 79, which I didn't see all the way through at the time. There was a little clip from it there. It was a slideshow of images from season 6 of Black Mirror. I have gone and watched the whole season 6 of Black Mirror, and it was really good. Some great stories in there. Charlie Brooker's, excelled himself, to be honest. Probably one of the better seasons of Black Mirror I've seen, and it's actually a lot of it's gone back to, its Britishness for the most part. There are some American things in it. It's how many episodes is it? It's just 5 episodes, and the first one is called Joan is Awful, in which stars Salma Hayek, but it stars Annie Murphy as a woman called Joan, who basically her life is stolen by Netflix. Basically, it's called Streamberry, but it's basically Netflix, and it's basically a warning: beware when you're agreeing to terms and conditions, because this woman, when she agreed to the terms and conditions for signing up to Streamberry, Netflix, she also signed away her likeness rights and everything. So they made a show about her, and obviously, and it's like an almost live show. It's a show made by AI. It's a warning against AI, and what happens is basically your phone is listening to you all the time, and Streamberry, the AI, they call it a quantum computer. Quamputer is getting all the information actually from everybody that signs up to Streamberry, Netflix, and it's making what they call targeted programming. So there's going to be a show basically about everybody, and this quantum computer's just making up this story from real life, essentially. And it's not actually using Salma Hayek; it's using the what they call it, the image of Salma Hayek. You know, it's like an AI CG version of her. And when she finds out about this, Salma Hayek's not happy either. And, you know, hilarity and fun ensues. And it's a good episode. It's a good episode. And we actually, at the end, we actually end up finding out who the real Joan is. Because the person that you think is the real Joan. Spoilers, by the way. There's going to be spoilers for all these episodes. The real Joan wasn't Annie Murphy. I think that's her name. If it isn't, I will put it there. We find out, you know, that the real Joan ends up destroying the quantum computer and gets arrested, obviously. And anyway, it's all fun and games, and that's a good start off for the series. Was Joan is awful, even though I watched Demon 79 first. The second story is called Loch Henry, a place name. As you might imagine, it's set in Scotland, where a young couple travel there. It's the young man's home village, and it's a sleepy Scottish town, it says, but it didn't used to be. It used to be, you know, quite touristy because it's a lovely area. Pardon me. That his girlfriend learns the sordid nature of why, you know, the tourists have stayed away, because there were a huge scandal about murders and stuff like that in the 90s, in 1997. And in fact, a lot of these stories are set in the past. We've got, well, not set in the past, but are connected with the past. This one's connected with something that happened in 1997. Another one's connected with, well, it's set in 1969. An alternative 1969. We've got Demon 79. But anyway, whatever. And they find out that they decide to do a documentary. They were going to do a documentary about a man that protects rare eggs from being poached, or whatever the word is. Not poached. You have poached eggs, don't you? From being stolen from birds' nests. But his girlfriend talks him into doing a documentary about this murderer, like a serial killer, who were kidnapping tourists and you know, torturing them and murdering them. And of course, with it being Black Mirror, there's a twist. That's all it coming a mile away. It's obvious. But that's a good one. That's a good one. Then we got Beyond the Sea, which is a really long one. It's like a feature-length one. I thought, bloody hell, how long is this one going on for? And it's actually my least favourite. Maybe because it does drag a little bit, but it's still an interesting story. This one's set, it's a space adventure, kind of. It's about two astronauts who are on a long mission. I don't actually know where they're going. It might say in the episode, but I missed it. They're going on a long mission into space, and they're away from home for years and years. So somehow in 1969 they've developed these robots, and they can connect to them somehow. A bit like Avatar. It's a bit like Avatar, where they can connect, you know, their minds to these robots on Earth. So it's like their robot selves are still, you know, it's like they're still there. They haven't left their families, so they can still do that. And but then something bad happens. Spoilers. One of the astronauts' families gets murdered, and he obviously goes to pieces on the spaceship. Not destructively, just, you know, he's taking it badly. He can't do anything about it, basically, because he's in space and he can't get back to Earth. But his whole family's been murdered, and his replica body, they call it, has been destroyed. And the other one decides, he talks with his family through his replica, and they decide to use his link so he can have some time on Earth and some fresh air, so to speak, and a walk in the woods, because he lives in the country. And obviously all that goes wrong, and obviously there's a twist at the end. So that's another good one. That one stars, oh crikey, I forgot his name. Josh Hartnett and him from Breaking Bad. Aaron, whatever his name is. The next one's Maisie Day, and this one, as I said, usually Black Mirror all have a technological leaning. So the first one was about basically about AI and Netflix. The second one's about the Netflix, true crime documentaries. That's what that one's about. Beyond the Sea is obviously about space and robots and linking consciousnesses and stuff. But this next one's, it's not really connected to technology, unless you count like paparazzi and digital photography. I don't know. This is more of a horror story. The last two are essentially horror stories. This one's about a young actress who's having drug problems, and she gets into what they call it, a hit and run scenario where she kills somebody basically. While she's under the influence of drugs, and she goes into a retreat to help her, with her drugs, and these paparazzis decide to try and get in to see who this. It's Maisie Day is her name, by the way. Tried to get in, and it turns out, spoilers, she's a bloody werewolf. She turns into a werewolf as they're taking photos of her. Because they find her chained to a bed. They say, what's she chained to this bed for? And they're thinking it's because, it's an intervention. It turns out she's a werewolf. So all that kicks off. And that's an interesting one. The best bit is the last 10 minutes of it, when the werewolf stuff's happening. And the last one is Demon 79, which, again, it is set in 1979. It's not really a technology-based one, unless you count TV as it. But it's interesting. It's interesting. Once you get past the annoying demon, who looks like somebody from Boney M, and the way he talks and stuff, he's a bit like the anti. I forgot his name. The angel from It's a Wonderful Life. He's like a trainee demon, and he's got to get this young sales assistant to kill 3 people before a certain time. And if she doesn't do it, the world will end in fire and brimstone, basically. And so she's got to commit three murders, and she does 3 murders, but it turns out one of them don't count because she actually murdered the murderer, and murderers don't count. So she had to go and find somebody else. And I won't spoil the end, but obviously it's Black Mirror, so it doesn't end well. But it's a good series. It's a good series. Is season 6, or is it series 6? Is it technically a British show still, or is it American now because Netflix pay for it? I don't know. We call them series, Americans call them seasons. But it's good, and it's worth watching, and it's worth watching for her, Salma Hayek, because she's gorgeous. But the rest of the stories are interesting. It's worth a watch. Right, so I just thought I'd just let you know that. I just thought I'd let you know what it's like, that I have watched it, and it's worth watching. So there you go. So, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say there.